Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a low, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on a full moon. And we're stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, play me like a bass guitar, simmer down and mess me up, tripping like I'm Jimmy at Woodstock. Drive me around in your red Ford, shivers down my spinal cord. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding.
All right, and thank you so much for jumping back in. Good to have you here, Israel, and thanks for bearing with me through the typical technical issues. It popped up and said that there wasn't a good enough connection, and even though it was streaming, it wasn't going to transmit it. So we're back online. Looks like we're good to go. Just let me know if you have any issues with the stream, and we'll do what we can to fix that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and jump into game. Hey, Holden, welcome to the stream. Great to have you both here for another one. I wish this was my truck. This is just the preferred one that shows up, so we'll get to see it for a little bit. All that and your grade goes up by 0.2. Yeah, it's amazing how slowly it goes up and how quickly it can drop, and that's definitely an ongoing issue there. So let's go ahead and get into game. And I did get it hooked up with World of Trucks, and did add a couple of mods. Another stream set to start in 24 minutes. That is good to know. I should fix that before we get started here. That's the weird stuff I've been running into today. I had one set to start at 10:30. And yeah, it did do that. Okay. That's the one that actually has the right thumbnail, too. Okay. We'll just tell it to stop doing that one. If I can find that option. Live. And yeah, it just totally didn't do that right. ahead and tell it to delete that one. That's a good point. Yeah, I could definitely do something bizarre. Now I'm going to see if I can change the thumbnail of our current one. Because it does not appear to be showing one. Sometimes I wish this surprised me more than it does. There we go, that changed a thumbnail. We'll see if it's the right one. Okay. Live control room. You have the stream on your phone? Oh, you're gonna join General Voice and play some ETS. Nice. Okay, so that looks like it's correct on my end now, so we are ready to get started. Thanks for catching that, Holden. Should make our stream all that much better. So, still can't buy any vehicles. I could take out a loan, but I really do want to wait until we have enough, the high enough level to be able to buy and customize a truck the way we want to. So, what do we got here? Portland to Newport, Pendleton Burns, Portland to Newport. So we've done those kinds of runs before. Eugene, which is here, to Astoria. We did a similar run to that already. Portland to the Dalles, we've done that. Dalles, Pendleton, that's it. Let's just go ahead and click on Bend and see what we can find out of here. No, we can't do that one. Hey Biscuit, welcome to the stream. Great to have you here as well. Well, this proves that at least Discord's working as far as getting the stream out, getting that information out there. Yeah, and I'm out of practice with it. Haven't been doing this much until these few recent streams. I like the look of that one there. Logs. I've actually been wanting to do the log truck. I was actually looking into the forestry DLC just to see if I could get that done. So this one works. FTAs. All days, I gotcha. Why not move about the map? Well, I want to cover, I want to at least hit each of the areas in Oregon first, so I'm thinking a Newport to Coos Bay run is perfect for what I'm looking for. I've got plenty of map that I can hit down the road, and it gives us a reason to progress throughout. Before we hit the entire country, we can build up our levels, build up our money, and then as we expand our enterprise here, that will give us a chance to branch out and have a bigger company and bigger money, bigger trucks, all that kind of stuff. At least that's what I'm going with. Alright, that's a nice looking truck, although it's not the color I would choose. Turn on our lights. Hopefully I didn't mess up the lights. So, like I said, I did put in a couple of mods. Air horn is updated. Vehicle noises, sounds in general are updated. The vehicle lights should be updated, and the company names should be correct. I think that's the 3 that I put in. Let's go ahead and get our truck started. Alright, yeah, let's just take a quick look at the map here and see where we're going. Nope, wrong button twice. So we'll just do a quick run from Newport to Coos Bay and see where we head from there. Nice short drive. And you guys can hear me alright, correct? Looking like we're good on volume. And one more thing before we get rolling. Here we go. Oh, I like that. Okay. Alright, so I got my right screen set up the way I like it. Yeah, nice little coast run, exactly. Unfortunately, looks like it'll be at night, although oh, it's expecting us to be there at 3:30. So yeah, it'll be a night run. But better than nothing. So let's go ahead and get ourselves rolling here. Looks like it's saying to head up this way. It's like at least a double trailer of logs. And this is the kind of truck you'd expect to see out on Oregon roads. There's a lot of... the logging industry is huge out here. Fortunately, we've got the resource to have that kind of an industry. Looks like it's going to be out this way. Well, hopefully you guys had a great weekend. At least for us here in the U.S., it is Sunday night, or Monday morning for some. And at this point, as far as I know, I am still working this next week as expected. See what the governor decides as time moves on. Alright, nice bumpy roads. Also what you'd expect for a logging road. Oh, almost rolled right through that. Get ourselves on the road and heading south towards Coos Bay. Let's turn my lights down. There we go. It looks like we're running into some issues with the stream. According to YouTube anyways. Let me know if it is jumping for you. Still shows it's streaming, so I guess we'll be alright. 4 p.m. on Monday out there. I'm sorry to hear that. I still can't find toilet paper, huh? Actually, we got a tip from a family friend who gave us a heads up that Costco had a pretty good stack, about 10 pallets worth. And they limit how much they are selling to each individual person, so by the time we got there, we were able to pick up a pack. That's all we needed. That's the first one we've bought in the last month or so. Month and a half. So we're doing fine. You're buffering on and off? Yeah, okay. Let's turn on our flashers here. I'm going to just park in the middle of the road and try to fix this. This could be a real problem if my internet connection's not going to want to work with me here. Let's go ahead and close out a couple windows. I don't even really need this one on right now either. I don't think. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. We lost a couple of viewers too while doing this. That's too bad. Latency is at normal. It's not the low latency like I had it before. Go ahead and close down Discord, see if that helps a little bit. Need to pick up one pack here, but it's been like 3 weeks since we bought. Yep. That makes it tough. Fortunately, we've got a good sized pack, so we will be fine for a while. I'm not concerned. Alright, well that seemed to smooth it out, at least temporarily. So let's get back into our trip. Get out of these people's way. Alright, and to get some details on our job here, it is $2,400 for logs from Newport to Coos Bay. Really, that's not even a long drive in real life, so this should be a pretty short little commute down here. The lighting looks pretty nice with that upgraded lighting. One of those many things that should just be included in the game, but it isn't. Okay, there's going to be a left turn. We have a green. There we go. Alright, so this is pretty similar to how Newport looks. Got an empty log truck in front of us, which you don't really see very many log trucks in this game to begin with, so it's interesting that I'm hauling a set of logs and there's one right in front of me. It's empty. Although typically if it was empty, they would stack them. The dolly setup. Oh, interesting. You can steer with with the AWSD and the direction pad. That's interesting. Makes it tough because you're not mobile, so your dad is the one that has to go shopping on the weekends. Oh, that makes it really tough, for sure. I'm ready for all of this to settle itself down. For sure. Can you guys hear the music at all? I know before, one of the last ones, it was super low. Okay, my lane's running out, so this log truck needs to get moving. This is a pretty cool bridge, and I remember mentioning it before that if you go off to, once you cross it in real life heading south, you take a right and it wraps down underneath, and you actually will see the Oregon Coast Aquarium. Pretty cool facility. They used to have Keiko, the killer whale, there. Long story short, they released her, and unfortunately she was in captivity for so long that she did not have, I think she was actually bred in captivity, did not have the basic survival skills, and did not survive. Very audible. Is it a bit too much? Things can always be changed. It's not the style of music I would have playing. But even my last stream got hit with, what is it called? The copyright information. Fortunately, none of it was strikes or anything, just saying that the author could have videos and have ads and get revenue off of it, even though I'm not eligible for that. Whatever. Having videos like this without music just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, Oregon Coast Aquarium, there was a sign for it. And go ahead and move over. It says to the left. That's interesting. Never have seen the option to get there from the left. In real life, I mean. Got a state trooper in front of us. About 110 miles left to go. It is kind of too bad to see the Oregon coast all dark like this. Oh, that's not state trooper. That's... Yeah, well, I mean, as you're probably familiar, the term killer whale is not super accurate. Yeah, they'll hunt for food, but they're not the super tough ones out there, especially not solo. If they're swimming in pods, they can defend themselves for sure. But otherwise, you don't see them out hunting everything. But bred in captivity, that poor thing didn't really have much of a chance. Interesting decisions made by the professionals in that setting, but how it goes. Long time ago, though. They actually repurposed her tank for multiple sections, and you can actually walk through a tunnel that goes all the way through that enclosure. So you're going underwater, you've got sections for fish, shark, all kinds of things. Pretty good sized tank, but then again it was an orca. Oh hey look, there's a road out there. Not bad, just a little excessive? Okay, well, let me take a quick look here. That's one notch down. We'll see how that sounds a little better to you. I felt like it was too low in one of them where it had dropped it down to where I thought it was good, and it turned out it was so quiet no one could really hear it. Oh, that person got pulled over. Explorer that pulled him over too. I'm hesitant to add too many mods based on my experience with them causing problems in every game that I've used them, but I figure these are ones that I should be able to pull out without it saying that the game is relying on them. Make one more adjustment here. That's good? Okay, perfect. Wait a second. This song is in Spanish? Huh. I guess I'll just leave it in there. I'm not sure. Not what I expected it to be. Why did they release it? You know, it was such a long time ago that I wasn't really aware of the situation. I feel like it was one of those times where they thought, oh, it'd be best to release it back into the wild and let it live on its own. But then the controversy comes around of, but it has no survival skills. They ended up sticking with it. There you go, Israel, just for you. I didn't even know this song, that they had a Spanish version of it. Well, there you go, something new. I can guarantee that is the first time I've had a Spanish... wait a second here. Okay, sorry about the delay there. Had to just check on a couple of things. Tough when using headphones to hear something in the background when it's almost 11 o'clock at night. Figured I'd better make sure things are good to go. Alright, let's get back on the road. But yes, this is the first time that my channel has had Spanish translated songs. Hey, glad you enjoy it. Alright, cruising around, we've got about 60 miles left. Still following this other log truck. Not sure where he's going. Well, hopefully, like I was saying, hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Not much going on here with it because you can't really get out and do a whole lot. We did, like I said, did make a trip to the store. Small thing, I mean, very little activity. Okay, why am I outrunning you? I'm the one that's loaded. Move. Okay, enough outside driving. I'm curious to see how this week goes. You guys have any plans for the week? I'm sure Israel's got some schoolwork to get done. Holden, I don't know what you're doing down there. Hopefully you guys are able to handle it a little better than we are up here. There's so much confusion and unknown and unwillingness to just simply follow the rules out here that makes it really tough for any progress to be made. Personal opinion on how that's going, though. Alright, just kind of cruising down the highway. I think we'd probably be passing through the Depot Bay area by now. Maybe a little further south. Apparently the new beta has all totally redone sounds or something. That is interesting. I think the beta would be an interesting thing to see. No, I don't have that. I have access to it at this point. But it would be nice to see some of the progress being made behind the scenes. Just wrapping up the week for spring break. Well, don't know what you'll do with spring break, but good luck. Alright, there's Coos Bay, so we are rolling in, so we must be going to the south side, because there's still another 20 miles or so. Most classes are optional, and most lessons are catch-up lessons for students with missing work, because teachers are not allowed to grade. Any new teacher-graded assignments? Yeah, that seems very complicated. Meant to be an open beta. Oh. Well, now that definitely sounds interesting. My luck, if I tried to set it up, it would somehow mess up my game. As you know, I have not exactly had the best of luck with any form of modifications to game files. Something has to be corrected on all times. Crossing through here. You're not opted in right now because you mostly play MP? Oh, that makes sense that you couldn't really do the... can you do beta with mods? I imagine that would kind of defeat the purpose if you can't really test the stability and everything of the mods if you have other mods into it. Or you can't... Let me rephrase that. Can't test the stability of the new versions and betas if you have mods in. Well, I hope they get that figured out. Spring break, you're gonna eat, sleep, and play video games. It sounds like you are perfectly prepared for quarantine. I think we all are to some degree. Long light. It's the longest turn light I think I've ever seen. I was thinking maybe the little toggle switches there on the dash would move with the lights, but they don't. Oh yeah, that one does. It's just the high beam that doesn't. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Oh, there's the three switch. Okay. 3 positions. Interesting. Might check it out later. Just gotta enable it through Steam. Okay. I remember seeing something about enabling betas through Steam. I think it'd be pretty cool to see some of the new stuff. I think some of the noise I'm hearing is from the game. Or music. Rayans. Healthcare Center. It's a place to avoid right now. Just doing your last 2 history lessons for the week on Sunday night. Did you end up doing your... Well, I guess you said you intentionally let your daily challenges lapse on Red Dead. I ended up getting mine done again about 10-15 or so. Could do another one right now, but we're here. This is the part that matters. Did I turn my lights off? Oh, okay, slow down. Slow down. Apparently I can only can't have regular headlights on right now. It's either running lights or high beam. It's just be a time of day thing. Alright, we are pulling up here, although I don't know what this truck is doing. Is he in the turn lane? What is this? Hey man, you good to go? You good? Alright. Well, call me on the CB if you need something. That's weird. It's Fmod stuff for sounds, openable windows, and some other stuff. Are you talking about what I'm using, or is that something different? I feel like that might be the one I'm using, but I don't know. Kind of feel bad for that guy, but he doesn't seem to want any help, so I guess he's got his life figured out. Alright, we're just clearing it as the train leaves. New features for way stations. That'd be neat to see more stuff added to the way stations. As it is, the way station's pretty quick and straightforward. Just gonna go into options, gameplay, and just, I don't think gameplay's the right one. Maybe it is. So what I'm looking for is to be able to tell it to always do the difficult parking, so that we can pull up and see where we need to be before we actually pull in. And I'm not seeing it yet. Randomizer hidden. Preferred job length. Automatic parking dialogue. Maybe that's it. That doesn't sound right though. Router. I know it's an option. Maybe you guys are familiar with it. Meant to be inspections that look at damage and stuff. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's more realistic. Parking difficulty. There it is. Skilled parking. Okay, that took way longer than it should have. Alright, so that moves it. It's going to be off to the left. It looked like... Yeah, it took me way longer than I should have to find that, but... Looks like we're going to be right over here. Oh, don't hit that pole. Ooh. Oh, it's double trailer, so I bet I won't be backing in anyways. There it is. Clear it? Nope. We get to back it up anyways. So it looks like it is actually backed in. Well, it seems to be holding itself in line. Let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, we can totally back that in. Okay. Ooh, watch out for the fence. Literally just started it, wants you to start and restart for an update. Yeah, that's one of those, like, just do it when you have it starting. That makes the most sense. Good job, Steam. You failed. Just a little bit. Yeah, I'll probably do it on the next one. I'm not gonna switch back to it now and try to make it more realistic, but... next time around. Wow, what am I doing? I know I can drive. I can actually do this stuff. Alright, good enough for right now. I was thinking it was a double trailer that was going to articulate and be really difficult to back. But that one worked out nicely. Okay, let's take a look at our job market. See what we have here. Salem to Medford. That wouldn't be a bad run. That would cover all the way down to there. That would actually be a really good run. Cascadian Farms, it's a harvester. Yeah, apparently I just run slow. I don't know. I feel like I'm running decent speeds for some of it, but let's go ahead and run this harvester down to Medford. I think that'll be a good one. Bring in a pretty decent amount of money for a pretty good drive. Yeah, the time and the distance in this game are really tough to wrap your head around, especially if it's an area you're familiar with. Okay. We are tucked away under this little covered area. There's our harvester in the back. Yeah, and that will mean that we'll only have Bend and Ontario left to hit, which a Bend to Ontario run would be perfect. But we'll see what we end up getting after this. It's a little bit tricky with the stack there, because you can't really see the trailer moving straight back. Alright, let's get this going. We are headed straight out the front door here. Glad I didn't clip that combine, or harvester, on either side. Yeah, it'll be nice to at least have hit every city. Granted, I think I just hit every city in the last profile, but that profile wasn't working anymore, so here we are. Taking another look at that harvester now that we're off from under the cover. Oh no. Coasted right up that hill. Just about added a gate to the front of my truck. Okay, back in the truck. It's amazing how much that can throw you off by looking around. Okay, oil temp, water temp, everything looks good there. Plenty of fuel. We've got a full tank of gas. Cruise control. And the clock. Yeah, that was an interesting place. I've never been in that one before. Oh. Note to self. E is still not the right one for the turn signal. Cool, we are clear. I feel like this will make for a good run all the way around. New areas, new trailer, nice looking truck. And go. The drag race is on and I'm losing to a bus. Alright, there's our left turn down towards Eugene. And this time around we're just going to pass right through Eugene. Left and right turn to Q and E. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Turning the engine on and off isn't something I have to do very frequently during drive, but a turn signal is pretty crucial. What rig am I going to buy when I have the chance? That is an excellent question. I'm not as much of a fan of the day cabs. I like to have some kind of a sleeper on it. So I'd like to make it so I can get one of those. And actually, after driving, this is a Kenworth, initially, I've kind of made a progression of my interests. I've liked Peterbilts. I think they're good-looking trucks and a really reputable brand. since playing this, some of the Kenworths that look like the... Oh no, this is not good. Okay, that truck stopped. And now he's going again. Okay. The Kenworths look really nice. Like, this is a good example of one that I do like to look up quite a bit. And then just in the last stream, I think it was, I really enjoyed looking at that International. So right now I'm probably leaning towards Kenworth, but I might be leaning between Kenworth / International. I've got a little bit of time to work on that one. On-off key should be enter. I don't even know what enter does. Apparently nothing on the road. Good to know. Coming up on this charger. Oh, that's right. My speed limit's actually slower than the 60 that we just passed. Don't brake check me. What are your guys' thoughts on trucks? I think there's only 3 companies. Peterbilt, Kenworth, International. And do you guys like the sleepers, or do you prefer day cabs? I know everyone's got a little bit of their own preference on that kind of stuff. Alright, we're continuing south. This is as far south as we've gone once we get past this overpass. Set our cruise control. Not a fan of the International? Okay. Would take a modern Kenworth or Peterbilt before he'd consider one. That's fair. Oh, Volvo. I forgot about them. I think I've only driven one of their trucks in this game. It wasn't bad. It's never been a brand that's really stood out to me. But that doesn't mean I couldn't enjoy it. Scania, yeah, you know, I know you like the flat-nosed one because they're easier to drive, and you probably won't. Even if I was in ETS, I probably would look for ways around driving one of those if it was an option. But it seems like most of the European countries use them. The nose on these are definitely not the easiest thing to work around. It just has such a tougher look to them. It doesn't affect the performance or abilities. Personal preference. Alright, so we got 157, 155 miles, somewhere in there. It says we should be there by 10:30. Let's see about that. I should get on the road though. There we go. One of the higher end ones, they look nicer. Okay. The Kenworth W900, that's a really popular one from what I've seen. Kind of like the Peterbilt 289s. Okay, we are moving over. Run myself over my first RV. That's an interesting sentence. Run over an RV for the first time. Got a little convoy going on over here. Also, they sound less aggressive. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if sound doesn't sound like, if that's not the kind of sound you want to hear when you're driving down the road, there's no reason to enjoy that, or no reason you'd have to do it. There's other options out there, like the Scanias. If I'm pronouncing that right, I honestly don't know. Other than knowing that they're an ETS, I could not have even told you they were a brand of truck. Let's move ourselves back over so I'm not weaving around in the left lane. Great. Vehicle inspection. This is a way station and a rest stop all in one. Stopped a little bit early. To pass the inspection. Wow. What's the button for failing it? Thanks for the cooperation. Continue on. Alright, we will do that. Okay. You did not stop for the inspection. Well, keep going. Oh, killed my engine. There we go. Get your tanker moving. Okay. Now we're moving. Oh, 389. Okay. I had a feeling I might have had that wrong. I think I might have been mixing that up with a muscle car engine. The small block 289s. And the Volvos for 3? Okay. Oh, that sounds like a pretty solid list. I definitely could I could use some more knowledge on trucks in general. A lot of what I know is from the games, which that's not really saying much. Yeah, it's a simulator, but first-hand knowledge makes a big difference. Had to Google it. It was one of those times where I knew I was close. If 389 has anything to do with the engine size or compression or any of that. Oh, how do I turn that off? We've got engine brakes working. Let's get moved back over here until I figure that out. Okay, well they seem to have gone away now. $279, $379, and $389. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm sure they have a never-ending list of different models. So, I'm out of curiosity, what is it about the international trucks that you don't like as much? Canyonville. Get moving, Mustang. I do not want to run you over. The Scania next gen Model T. I'd be curious to take a look at that. In case you're wondering what the music list is from, it's No Copyright Sounds Top 50 list. I didn't even screen through to see what style of music it was. Hopefully it's not awful. I mean, I can hear it, but it's fairly quiet on my end. Can weave the truck around to it. There's some groups that I'd love to have some specific styles of music for the truck driving and everything, but I can never find it without it being copyrighted. Even if it says no copyright, it turns out over the years it's changed or something. Makes it kind of tough. Is that all of the Peterbilts look the same? except for different headlights. That's interesting. I wonder if it has more to do with the engine specs that they've changed up. Whoa, man, I am all over the road. Coos Bay in 1 mile, but that's not where we're going. We're headed to Medford. Oh, hey, that was screenshot. That's nice. I was looking for that button. There's a black and white Charger with the stripe down the center, double stripe. So this next load will bring, or finishing this load will bring us up to 50,000. That's not bad for not having any debt. I'd say we're making some pretty good money on all this. Assuming we don't wreck it and lose it all. I will read chat here in a moment once I get out of this corner. There's a lot of traffic around it. There we go. Too much fake chrome that wraps around the front. Prefer a more square cab. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure. I do prefer the squared trucks as well. Let's go ahead and reset that. Double check our map here. Looks like we are still running pretty good here, but we only got about 13 miles left, so we are getting close to Medford. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and move over because we need to take this next exit, which is right here. Yep, typical Oregon weather. You can have sun and rain at the same time. Alright. Yeah, it is too bad that the standard key bindings have the turn signals so far over to the right. You have to take your hand off the mouse in order to use those keys. Gonna be another right turn. Alright, there was a welcome to Medford sign. Leaves 2 cities left to find. Yeah, that wasn't too bad of a run, though, for taking a harvester down to the southern part of the state. Another lumber mill there. That is really one of the main industries. They've taken some hits, though. Some decisions made by legislation and such has definitely put a lot of additional restrictions and, honestly, some hardships on this industry. That has affected rail, it's affected trucks, and the actual lumber industries themselves. And it's really too bad to see, because it's one of the main resources that this part of the state has. Haven't used KB. What is KBM? Oh, keyboard and mouse. To use a wheel, nothing else is good enough. I could see that. Let's just take a quick look, see where they want this. There it is. Actually, we should be able to pull through, nose out the exit. and back it straight in. I kind of like this idea of skipping the initial information of where do you want it kind of thing. Yeah, so we're just going to tuck it right in underneath the covered area. That is huge. Yeah, at this point my only option other than keyboard and mouse is controller, and if I'm going to be on PC, I don't find that I enjoy using the controller as much. So I haven't done it as much. Cause and effect thing there. Nope, 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 nope. Got myself turned around here. Last thing I need to do is fall off of this little culvert. Okay, there we go. I'm starting to see my lines. We might have turned it just a little too much there. See if we can correct it though. Obviously not lined up correctly there. The menu pop would be alright if they had an animation where you spoke to the spokesperson. The drop off is where to park it? Yeah, I could see that. Looks like I'm off-centered here. I'm just going to take a quick peek. Oh yeah, a little bit too close. And that is still the wrong direction to have the wheel turned. We're still going to be too far over to make this one work. Oh, there we go. Made it work after all. Nice that it had a little bit of give there. So that was our 8th load. Skill rank 3 on high valued cargo brought it up an extra $1,100. Some extra XP. And now we are level 5. Not too bad. Kind of nice to boost that up, although fragile cargo has a higher bonus across the board. So maybe we'll bump that one up. I think maybe once I get these at 3 and 3, I'll start doing class 1, class 2, kind of work our way up in the hazardous cargoes as well. Alright, $50,000, almost even. What's the trailers? I'm curious, I haven't... This is new since the last time I really got into this game. Standard trailers. My fleet configurations, which would require you to have a fleet. So dry van, bulk feed, flatbeds, grain hoppers, chip van, container carrier, 4 bolster logger. Okay, that makes sense. There's 4 of those. A sliding tarp. I see the levels are going to be the factor here. That requires level 9 for most, for these two. 3, level 10, level 12. So by the time we reach the point where I could buy my own truck, hopefully I won't need much of a loan. But level 10 would be the logger as well, so that's kind of tempting, potentially. Insulated reefer, flatbed, a double, insulated triple, and a sliding tarp RM double. Very interesting. They're expensive too. You can customize them. Interesting. So that's a whole feature to this that came out after I stopped playing it last. Of course, truck dealers, that's all pretty normal to me. So let's take a look at the job market again. Get hired as a professional driver, no fuss. Of course, the ones that pay really well are going to be the fragile, high cargo, and part of the heavy haulers DLC. I liked that one of the things that was changed with the names of businesses is it changed out the, it was like Cargo of, or Portland Cargo or whatever, changed it to Port of Portland, which is what they go by. So Eugene to Portland, Coos Bay to Astoria, that would be a nice coastal run, if that's what you were going for. If I could get like a Eugene to Ontario, that would be a good run. Eugene to Bend, that's not that far. But that would cover that area, so actually that's not a bad option. I don't feel like route length is really helping there. Oh, I see. That was what's coming out of Eugene. That's why. Klamath Falls, which looks like, yeah, we have already been there. We have a level 4 for both. Just in time and fragile cargo. Very nice. Scrap metal. So it looks like, where did Eugene to Bend go? There it is. Taking some furniture from Home Depot. Oh, Walmart to Home Depot. Oh, well, there you go. So that'll be a good opportunity to use that as well. Let's go ahead and take that one. It's not a super high paying one. It's not based on high value or anything like that, but it'll cover the area that we want to take. While that's loading, I will... Has the stream been holding up pretty well, quality-wise, for you guys? I cleared up some of the extra tabs and windows and such when we were having some issues, and I haven't noticed any real problems on this end. So we are still raining here at Walmart. Let's be real, truck isn't super important. That is true. Except that is what you're sitting in. That's not a bad looking truck by any means. I like it. I think the sleeper really makes a big difference. It is a rounded truck though. Not super rounded, but... Alright, this should be a pretty simple drive. It's a normal cargo truck there. Perfect, glad to hear it's still running smooth. Let's go ahead and get this truck moving. My wiper's going too, and my lights. I should have taken a look at more of the inside of this truck anyways. It's an interesting center console where it sticks out. Oh, so the Volvo sound did not update. Oh! Took that one too sharp. What am I doing? Oh, wow. Yep, that was bad. Did not damage anything though, so nothing happened. Staples. So, nice. Actually get a dining... Oh yeah, that is kind of cool. That's a big wide open area, and I'm sure that folds down and turns into a bed. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and change our music here a little bit. You guys are just now seeing me drive over everything. There we go. Okay, we are moving. Staples and Tesla. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It definitely gives you all of your controls in one easy to reach area instead of having to reach for certain things. I'm sure it's more of an ergonomic style. It's also a bit of a shorter front end than what we're used to. No more rain. Turn those off. Nope, turn it off. Walmart has dominated this little town. There we go. And Staples. Okay, here we go. Time to get on the highway and head over to Bend. What are the truck companies out there for ETS? I guess I've never really looked at that. I know Scania, but beyond that one, I'm not sure. You can pick up... maybe I should read this first. Now you can pick up the missus without needing to take her to a fancy restaurant, park in front of the beach, and have the best table in the place. That's true. No sand, no extra people around. Well, you know, it's the thought that counts, right? Whoa, okay. Look at the screen when you're driving. I feel like that should be on a bumper sticker. There we go, we got ourselves moving. Cruise control. 3.1 miles per gallon. Okay, so nothing too shocking there in that information. Sometimes peanuts and Dorito chips could be exactly what you want, in which case you're all set. Yep, that's a turn lane. So we're heading north towards Portland. I feel like, depending on the situation, you might be eating those peanuts and Dorito chips by yourself if you tried that. That said, the beach would be a nice touch. Depends on your scenario. Alright, so let's keep moving, buddy. Run over your little transit van. That might be a Mercedes, I can't really tell. So you've got... I'm not even going to try to pronounce all of those, but... Mercedes, Renault, Volvo. So that might be why you're recognizing this, if you drive any of the Volvos. It's the same company. I figured they might have their own representation in that game. Driving on the road here. Okay. Might have to get takeout to eat while you're there. At least then you've got some options. That was it. I told it to... I hit 8, and it keeps jumping back inside. What's going on? There we go. That was weird. I kept trying to tell it to get in the truck, or try to stay outside the truck, and it kept jumping in. Alright. So 94 miles. Just jump into the map really quick, see where we're at. So we just came up through Eugene. Now we're taking Highway 20. Oh yeah, that's actually the road I take when I head out to visit family occasionally. It's kind of an interesting road because there's a lot of water that you drive past. We are rolling backwards. Let's take a look at our load information here. It's about 28,000 pounds worth of furniture, which it's not a lot in the trucking world, but that's seems like an awful lot of furniture. I'm sure that includes the weight of the truck or something. Or the trailer? I don't know. Scania and Volvo are the brands that you like? Clean and look nice? Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, this does look, like you said, very clean. And we just passed another Volvo there. There's 2 engines on 1 trailer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was 3 engines across 3 trailers. I do see what you're saying in the replay there, or as it's catching up. That is an interesting thought that they didn't do it that way. Wonder why that would be. Maybe someone was thinking, hey, I just really want to have triple trailers right now, so give me a reason. I feel like they could definitely do a, in some form, create a police mod for this game. It wouldn't be as good, I wouldn't think that it would be as good of a mod as LSPDFR, although it could be more stable, or at least more supported since they actually support mods. But I think something could be done here. I don't know how you would do the interaction with the drivers, or dealing with scenarios that required you to get out of the vehicle. Maybe just first-person only interactions, but I think it could be done. If I knew anything about coding, I would maybe even consider trying that, but I wouldn't know what I was doing. Maybe it was a trailer-rated issue or something. Yeah, it could be. Just not designed for 2 engines, but that's what they required, so they found a way. Could very well be. Terribly inefficient. Yeah, it would be. The amount of extra weight that you'd be pulling with 3 trailers versus 1 trailer with, well, one trailer with 2 engines and 1 with a 3rd one. Seems like it would be more efficient than 1 on each. Unless it is a matter of spreading out the weight. Because if you do, you'd want to have the 2 engines on the back trailer to try to keep the trailers tracking properly. So I don't know. About 40 miles left to go. Looks like a lumber, maybe a lumber location off to the right here. Some kind of a business up this road. More rolling resistance. Yeah. Yeah, the more contact you have with the ground, the more friction you're going to have, and it's not producing more power, so... Doesn't seem like the best idea. So this job will bring us in about 3,600 bucks. Bring us up to roughly 54,000. This is the first time I've played this where I've gone more than 5 levels, I think, before buying my own truck. So I've always got a loan, and I've been trying to figure out how to get the business started and moving. This is the first time I've let it just kind of build organically through the job market. I'm hoping that it stays interesting enough up to 10 to build up our money and have less of a bank loan, more options for the truck, and then we can pick up from there with our own stuff and have even more fun with it. That's what I'm picturing. We'll see how that ends up. And maybe that's why you're not a trucker. There's always reasons for things that we don't know, but then at the same time, there's frequently times where you look at something and go, why wasn't it done, why couldn't it have been done this way? Oh, well, we never even considered it. So maybe just listening to the experts isn't always the way to get things done. I guess that overall it's more efficient because you're not making as many mistakes repeatedly. Alright, we are pulling into Bend. First thing we see is Walmart. And now we've seen 13 out of 14 states. That's not the right word. 13 out of 14 cities in Oregon. You're up to 138,000 euros. Very nice. Ooh. There's that Plum Crazy with a stripe, black top. Spoiler. This road that we're about to get onto just kind of wraps around the city. Okay, let's go. Come on. At least in real life it does. We've got some shopping area that direction, and then you can wrap around the city instead of driving straight down the center. Planning on getting a good truck and hire a good driver to drive it and then do contracts. Don't think you've seen any more Caprices this time. Yeah, I guess I haven't noticed them either. Whoa, look out. Must be a rare spawn. You know, we kept it rare just for you. You got to see it, you got to notice it. Keep an eye on him for a while. Nope, that wasn't one either. Special spawn just for you. One that I did not have control over, but it seems like a good reason for one to show up. Holden, I don't know if you've seen it, but I've been working on that Ford Explorer vehicle model based on Hillsborough Police Department, and got a push bar put on it with the option of the wraps to go with it. I don't think I've actually posted a picture of the wrap, so the push bumper is new. I'll have to get a picture of that posted on Discord there. It's been kind of a fun project. There's definitely things I would have done differently that would require some extensive work to fix. Things that, you know, when I started with it, I didn't realize was even an issue. So definitely learning some new stuff. Alright, well, if you're going to hang out there, I'm going to go. Yeah, maybe that was the official Holden of the game, and it's only one that roams around town. So it looks like it's going to be tucked back in that corner. Oh. I passed the entrance. Apparently. We're not going to make a full loop around town, so let's just do this. Yeah, honestly, I didn't put that in there, but I think it's pretty cool that we found one, and that stands out. Oh, well, no wonder I didn't notice it. The gate's closed. Drove right by it, thinking I was missing something. Well, this time the stream is set up to public, I know for sure. And we're still not getting activity, so... I don't know. You would be correct, Holden. It was a gate. I completely missed it. I guess you didn't see it either, so that makes it a little better, right? Alright. Let's see if we can get it in. This would be kind of an interesting angle to do it at, but we'll give this a shot. Make sure I'm not going to hit anything on the front. Looks like I have plenty of room on this one. I'm not sure why Walmart is delivering to Home Depot. Missed that docking bay by a bit. Yeah, need to pull it forward, try it one more time. Not a bad first attempt for not doing a lot of that. I need to put a bigger area for the gate to open. Should open while waiting across the road. Yeah, I agree, because that left me blocking the lanes of traffic. Alright, lining it up. This one's looking nice. There we go. And that will do it for another run. Level 5 proficiency bonus. Didn't do much for experience points, about a 308 XP. It's now straight up midnight here. But not bad. Up to, yep, just shy of 54,000. So we need to find something that goes to Ontario. California. Probably not going to be the highest paying job out here. Hey Jamie, welcome to the stream. I do recall you had a different name that you'd like to be called. I can't recall what it was. I'm sorry. It has been a little while, but it's great to see you here. Thank you so much for jumping in. Thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate it. It's a lot more entertaining to do this kind of stuff with a chat that's really moving. Oh, what kind of, was that an international? It is an international. That's kind of an interesting one. Wow, lots of logging stuff out here now. Looking for some kind of... There's a Pendleton to Ontario. Unfortunately, I can't just click on Ontario because we have not been there before. Wasn't worth much money, but good to see the Volvo. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. So far, actually, you know what I bet I can do is search by destination and find everything that goes to O for Ontario. There's Ontario. So I got one of those day cabs. Bend to Ontario. So basically picking up where we just stopped, continuing on. Another Bend to Ontario for furniture. They're a nice looking truck. Pendleton to Ontario with wood shavings. Coos Bay to Newport. That's not what I wanted. Okay. So it looks like we have Pendleton, Bend, and Bend. Looks like this one will pay the most. It's not the truck that I prefer. But other than that, oh, that's only $200 less. Almost $300 less. It's exactly the same route. What's this one over here? It's actually slightly more. And it runs from there. I like that truck. That's a Kenworth. What are you? Peterbilt. And Peterbilt. It is that W900 Studio Sleeper. I think this would be a good balance in between. So, as much as this one would open up all of this roadway, we've been down this way, but we haven't been across. But this gives us a road that we probably won't cross, so we'll take this one here. Some wood shavings. Pretty typical thing to be transporting around here. So I'll make almost 6,000 for this one. And the drive shouldn't be too bad. Look like it might be a little bit windy, but that's probably the worst of it. If it was realistic, going from Pendleton to Ontario should be all highway miles. But this thinks it'll take us about 4 hours to get there, so I'm gonna guess, including some more. It should be interesting. Yeah, I don't think it's taking the most direct route. Let's take a look at our truck. Might as well. That's what we're here for. So it's wood shavings in this truck. It's kind of a cool trailer. I like that it matches the truck. And that is the one that we have in the opening screen, pretty much. So pretty cool there. Let's take a look at the inside again. Not a problem. Have a good one. Everyone in chat, or everyone chat a lot and distract him. Hey, you go for it. I'll enjoy it as much as you guys will, even if we do wreck. We haven't had a big wreck yet, so you know, there's still time. But yes, feel free to talk it up in the chat. That'd be great. I'm seeing about 5 people concurrent in the chat right now. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I know it is the end, now officially Monday here, which means the week is going to happen no matter what I want. It's kind of an interesting place. Yeah, I think the reason why the map had quite a few different kinds of curves to it is that it's going up a mountain. The mountains that hit right on the east border of, or heading over to the east border of Oregon. It did kind of look like a dead end. If it hadn't been for the map, I wouldn't have trusted it. But yeah, that east side of Oregon goes into the Blue Mountains, which you run into them right before you get over to Idaho, and it's pretty steep out there. We'll see how this truck does it. Need a Volvo again. Well, maybe next time. We didn't have a Volvo that went the direction we were headed, so here we are. The person's passing back there. But welcome back, Israel. Are you still doing ETS right now? Alright, so you can see on the map, on the GPS there, we have come up this ramp, taken a left and gone straight. Now we're just going to basically continue that route, except heading back onto the highway and continue east. Hate to work at that pickup location when it rains, Bog City. Yeah, it would be pretty bad. Alright, so we're keeping an eye out for another Caprice, which that looks similar, but oh, truck is stopped. Just your last lesson for history. That's right, you were working on that. Might get on after this. Very cool. Well, this run will take us a little over 200 miles. Probably be done by about, what, 12:40-ish, probably? Close to 1. I'd say 12:45 to 1. Probably be done with this run. Especially with a fully loaded truck, yeah, that would not be a good system, a good plan at all to dive into. Because that's exactly what you do, you dive right in and not be able to get out. Alright, so we have the ability to go 65 through here. Maybe they throw down a lot of sawdust to try to level out the ground and make it so you can get your truck out. Alright, smooth out the corners a little bit. Umatilla Indian Reservation. This is pretty much what Eastern Oregon looks like. A lot of area that doesn't get a lot of rain. And there's the, yep, this actually all adds up because you split off into 3 lanes going up the hill. Moving over. FedEx is struggling a little bit. That tanker's not going much faster. I'm going to be passing this tanker on a corner. That's not ideal. Pretty much. Thankfully, no one was on my left. I just don't want to lose this momentum because then I won't be able to keep going at a reasonable speed. Seeing some connection issues, so hopefully we're not losing it too much. Holding about 42 miles an hour. Turn our flashers on. Reading about World War II. It's a good history topic for sure. Stuff that people should know about. Some of the things that led up to it, some of the things that happened during it, and how it ended. Any weird frames. I was afraid of that. Oh, hello, truck. Says it's back to being normal again, so we'll... Nope, now another error, so... Connection issues. Of course they do that when I'm on windy roads with a lot of traffic around. Well, once we get over the mountain here, over the pass, we'll see what we can do about that. Go ahead and keep my flashers on, even though I'm doing 47. I'm in a 65 zone for trucks, so everyone should be going faster than me. There goes a UPS truck. Okay, now that we're up to about 60, I'm going to go ahead and turn my flashers off. What is going on with my connection? Come on. It's midnight. We don't need to be doing this. Oh yeah, I did see that one. It didn't tell me anything about it. Was it on the other side? I saw it on the map. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, it was on the other side right before you go down that hill. It is a really good place for it. In real life, they have stuff like that. They also have runaway truck ramps that are basically just up the dirt hill, which are really important to have. Yeah, last thing you need is for someone to wreck and have that be the reason why. Okay, well while I'm there, stream says excellent connection now, so hopefully it'll smooth itself out. Just let me know here in a couple minutes. Over the next couple of minutes, see what it's doing. Wow, we were up to 70 miles an hour. Yeah, the Blue Mountains are an interesting area because during the winter it is one of the one of the few areas, other than one of the actual Mount Hood and those kinds of places, Sisters. It's one of the few areas that you have a driving pass that gets so much snow and ice that it can be pretty hazardous, actually. It's one of the roads that gets closed down almost every year. There's a state trooper. Another way station. This one they'll actually tell me one way or the other on. Hopefully they don't bother me with it, but being this mountain, I understand if they do. Can bypass it. Alright, thank you. I definitely didn't want to have to stop. You got Blue Mountains in Australia? Interesting. Obviously it's not the same pass, but that's interesting that it's named the same thing. I wonder. I've never heard the reason behind naming it the Blue Mountains. That'd make me kind of curious. So we got another 100 miles to go. It's over in New South Wales. Okay. Pretty much everything I know about New South Wales is LSPDFR related. Predominantly Darkmire and Sergeant Anderson. There we go. Knew I had the name on the tip of my tongue. Beyond that, I don't know much about it, to be honest. I-84. So this is what I was expecting to be taking all the way down there, and yeah, this has a pretty legitimate feel to it, although a little more green than I would probably expect. Couldn't tell you that for your range either. It's just an interesting name for it. Maybe just from looking at it from a distance, it kind of has a blue hue. I don't know. Something for me to research, because I'd be curious. Baker City. All the Dodges today. Yeah, all the Dodges and no Chevys. So Baker City is a... There we go, right there. Back here. I found one for you, Holden. I can't keep up with him. It's one of those colors you wouldn't really notice most of the time unless you were looking for it. I can't outrun it. 65 is the best I can get this truck doing. Maybe now that we've seen one, we'll see about 50 others, but... Alright, we'll get ourselves moved back over. Less than... about 55 miles left to go. This was the wood shavings. This is about 41,000 pounds. And I'm gonna have to move back over because everyone's slowing down. Oh, it's because the area slowed down, I think. Oh, plus the trucks aren't driving 68 miles an hour. But that'll give us almost 6,000. Bring us up to just over... yeah, just over $60,000. ADM, I don't know what you guys do, but your truck's in the way. Making good use of his V8 and flying past. Yeah, I could not outrun him. It'd be kind of nice if I had vehicle specs off the road. There we go. I do not have what I was looking for, but some kind of a check your horsepower and torque and all the vehicle specs as you're driving would be kind of nice, without having to get out of it and into the menus. Looks like we've lost a couple people there in chat. One feature that I've always wondered about, and I finally see it working, and I don't know if it's something YouTube recently added, but the ability to see the participants of a chat is kind of nice. Alright, we're going to move ourselves over. Get back on this menu, and oh, there's our turn. Just happened to look at the map just in time. That's why they make good police vehicles. It's amazing how much power they can get out of V6 cars these days. They don't have the acceleration. I was able to test that personally, but it is impressive what they can get out of a V6. Congratulations on finishing up that history exam. Hopefully all is good there, and you know what happened in World War II now. Right. We're off of I-84, down into Ontario. I don't usually know what until you tell me. Don't remember when we had a mod in the chat. Sometime before I stopped streaming the last time. We have not had one in the last 3 streams. We've also not had people being disruptive that I've had to deal with, because you two are pretty well behaving. That doesn't mean to stop behaving. But, yeah, I mean, it's been... We typically have a pretty, I'd say, mature conversation in chat, and we don't have a lot of problems, and it works out well. Now you don't need to worry about the history lessons, that is true, and 2 more quizzes done with A's. Well, you can't go wrong with that, so nicely done. Now about 15 miles to our destination. I kind of want to take... You know what? I'm going to do it. We've got time. I'm going to take this left turn. There's a question mark up here. I might as well find some new locations. Who knows? We might need it. The delivery can wait. It's got 7 hours left before it needs to be delivered. There we go. Yeah, whatever you have to tell yourself in order to keep it that way, and I'm good with that. Now, compared to some of the chats that all of us have seen, there are those channels that just encourage a lot of, I'd say, extremely young-minded people that are just out to cause problems, and no one needs that. We're having a good time. We might as well be able to enjoy it and move on. We don't need people stirring things up and causing problems just for the sake of doing it. Let's call it that. Totally have a good social filter. Yeah, I understand. I'm not gonna say that, you know, we're all three of us at this point are the ones that are just out, just boring, can't have a conversation kind of thing. But respect, I think, is a big part of it. You can be, you know, how to be respectful when it's needed. Wow, I can't talk today, but I'm driving through a neighborhood with sawdust here. But just being respectful of each other, and I think that's really what matters. You do not have the best filter, but it works. We're good. Besides, if we had a mod and you were causing problems, you'd be the one that was having the problem. We don't want that. We're just going to loop around the neighborhood here, check out more of Ontario. Find ourselves headed back out to our destination. Glad there was no cars coming. So it worked out that we looped around this way. It was a recruiting agency, and the more of those that you have, the better the recruits you're going to get, so that are going to be available for hire. So down the road, that'll be very beneficial. Because I don't imagine we'll be driving around this area a lot. Until there's an Idaho DLC that we actually have purchased and installed. And sure, we'll definitely come through Ontario to get over there. That's the main stretch. Keep a bit of a lid on here compared to a stream like Darkmire's. No one here claims to be a saint, for sure. But I do appreciate the effort. That's the word I'll go with. Because even though I'm not out there trying to get every 12-year-old in the chat stirring things up just for the sake of it, we watch plenty of streams like that. As much as I love watching GM Anton Z's streams, his chat can be a little bit taxing at times to just listen to. Love his content, would watch him anytime, and I'd recommend him. Just bear in mind that his chat is a little more difficult to deal with. But that's just the way it goes. It works for him. It's built his channel up nicely. I'm just not the kind of person to want to have to constantly see that scrolling through the chat. There we go, we can keep rolling. The mature thing is keep the filter on when people are being respectful to you, and then take the filter off when someone is not being respectful. Yeah? Absolutely, let's pick a lane here. I'm going to take the right lane. Kind of drifted back and forth. Anymore, you can't just tell people to be respectful. You shouldn't have to tell people that. But you can't just say that, because people just glance right over like, oh yeah, be respectful, okay, Chat rules, no one really cares. People that are wanting to be obnoxious and rude and unpleasant to everybody around them don't care what you put in the chat, don't care what you put in the rules. It's just online life. I mean, multiplayer games are a pretty good example of what you can expect. Alright, so we are coming up to the farm here for the sawdust. Maybe it's, it probably wouldn't be bedding, but it could be ground cover for a horse arena or something. Yeah, it looks like they want it tucked way back in over there, but I'm sure I can't cut through. The one thing that not having that introduction conversation, not having it kind of loses the ability to see which direction the trailer is supposed to be facing. There it is. Alright, so let's give this a shot. Oh, that's tucked in there. Someone needs to move that little trailer out of the way. That's obnoxious. Let's see. So sometimes it's difficult to remember that. Sometimes calling someone out in a playful way can be taken as an insult. Yeah. Well, and I see a lot of the times people get to the point where they can't take any kind of a joke, and they start a fight over a joke. Which, granted, I mean, some jokes are a bit mistasteful, I guess, or untasteful. But for the most part, people just want to overreact to something to make a big deal over it, and no one benefits from that. Okay, straighten it out. This is where it gets really tricky. Why would anybody leave that little trailer there? Okay, can't do it. I could do it. I could spend 15 minutes in trying to get this right. But we'll do it this way. There we go. Is that thing causing a problem? Here, let me go ahead and grab that real quick. Let's stick it down here. Now, does it have that one too? Because on OBS it doesn't actually show that other one. I thought I'd only put the other one on there when we were when it was an actual video. There we go. Problem solved. Oh, 12:30. Okay, so I got there a little bit sooner than I thought I was going to. On occasion, I have to check in with the recipient of the joke to make sure they... That makes sense. Okay, there we go. So we made almost 6,000 and almost 500 experience. Alright, so let's take a look at our map. No idea what we're listening to. There we go. So we have seen every city in Oregon now. A good run from the Dalles down to Klamath Falls would cover a good chunk of land. Yeah, glad you like it. Since I don't see the other end of it very often, I miss that kind of stuff. So we've seen all the cities. There's roads we haven't seen, but that's alright. We've seen about 10% of the total map. Maybe breaking off into Hornbrook, Eureka, Reading, kind of work our way south. Could happen. What do we have out here? Astoria to the Dalles, we've done that. Lots to the Dalles. Klamath Falls to Salem, Reading, and Eureka. Well, Eureka's gonna... it pays less per mile, so it's got a pretty good amount of distance. Medford. Let's go ahead and change that to price per distance. Medford to Eugene, so that's going back north. Pays the best. Cascadia Farms to Walgreens. There we go. Standard delivery. An articulated trailer for office supplies, but that's going to Eugene. It looks like this one's probably our best bet. It's about 1230. About 200 miles. Okay, let's do that one. Taking some more wood shavings. I mean, it's basically what we just finished doing, but we'll take it somewhere else. Head down into California. Whoops. Did not mean to move that. There we go. Chat rate. Oops. Okay, back into the game. So we are driving a Peterbilt. Bright yellow Peterbilt. One of the newer ones. Nice look at the facility we're picking it up from. Alright, well let's go ahead and get on the road. Oh, gotcha, okay. It's kind of cool with the tarp over the top. Go ahead and get this rolling. Then I'll try to dump more into our load here. We should be good. That'd be kind of a cool thing to add, though. Get in your truck, get started, pick up the trailer, then move it over and get it actually loaded, and then transport it out. Alright, this is a pretty big facility. Big name company out here, apparently. Not one I'm personally familiar with, but... There we go, there's our green light. Try not to get lost on the way out. I could definitely try. Whether it's successful always remains to be seen, but I think we did alright this time. Some of these facilities are pretty extensive. I thought I replaced that. I guess that's one mod I didn't change. I think think I was even looking right at it, but I did not add it. Whoa, stop, 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 stop. It's got a legitimate looking license plate too. 011 Frank Sam Edward. There we go. Oregon plates on a U-Haul. Some of those complexes can be complex. It's completely legitimate. I agree. Alright, let's go. Truck, stop rolling forward. I think this will be our 10th load too, once we finish it. Whole Foods. If I'm not mistaken anyways. I believe it is. Alright, heading down to Reading. Cascadia Farms or... Oh, that's a red light. Okay, we're good. It's a very modern looking Peterbilt, that's for sure. Except for the gauges. Those look like they're about 10 years old. The 2011 Chargers had a similar looking what do they call it? Like infotainment. Basically, the gauges looked pretty similar to that. 2012 is when they started making them look nice. Okay, it's about 182 miles. Most of that's going to be highway driving as well. My steering wheel even has controls for music, volume, all kinds of things on there. First time out of Oregon on this playthrough. Yes, it is. We have stuck strictly with Oregon until we got all the cities done. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to keep bouncing back and forth, at least on stream. If it comes down to it, maybe in order to raise the levels up so the content's a little more interesting, I could always jump on and do some runs between Portland and Eugene and that kind of stuff, just to build up levels and money. I don't know. I was thinking that maybe this playthrough I would just stick with stream play. I haven't really thought through the other options too much. Maybe let me know what you guys think. Oh, we gotta wait. Weigh in. Way station wants us to stop. It would suck if we found out there was actually a problem. Does that ever happen? I guess I've never seen it. You were mentioning that they were trying to add some fines and fees and stuff for damage or whatever, but it just makes me curious. Can you fail one of these inspections? Okay, so we're about 76,000 pounds and we're good to go. Just occurred to me that I've never really thought about it too much, is whether you can actually fail that. So we are right on the border. A lot of effort to get stopped just to be able to take one of those. Got some beautiful sunset there in the background. Which means we are driving the next roughly 3 in-game hours in the dark. Fun times. Almost seems more RPer friendly to stay in the state. Northern Nevada. Oh, Northern Nevada and Cali until you own your own rig. Yeah, that makes sense. And I would definitely do that. I don't intend on doing all of California and branch out to this massive company that doesn't own a truck. But it makes me curious if I were to do some of the lower level, continue to do runs in the state off screen, if that would kind of break the feel of it, and I feel like it might. Like suddenly you come back and now I'm level 10 or something. That would be a little weird. So I'll probably just stick with doing this one on stream. If I get, I mean, I'll add things to it, like the mods, some of the basic mods that just help make it look a little better, but not, poof, I have $100,000 just sitting there because I pushed a button. That kind of stuff breaks the feel of it, in my opinion, as well. At least starting out and doing missions out of the cities that are close to where you started out at makes sense to me. Okay, we're passing Hornbrook, but we're not actually in it, so we won't get credit for that. Testing out the horn a little bit. I think that's Mount Shasta there, if I remember correctly. Driven down past this area once before, a few times before. Thanks to an opportunity to work with the city police department and cadets for a while. That was pretty cool. Went down to California and worked some events down around Monterey and Pebble Beach, 13-mile drive, that area. Pretty good experience for growing up. Run these guys over here at this rate. Hey, we found Weed, California. It's about 1 mile away. Or the junction for it is. There's a Crown Vic there. It'd be interesting if it was an unmarked vehicle, but I think, yeah, it's got the antenna on the back too. Look at that. Like a roleplay point of view. You could say you were working with local employment agency, so you're staying semi-local. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you on that. I think that makes a lot of sense, because you're not going to have connections with trucking companies all around the world. He's slowing everybody down. No, I think you're on track there. Absolutely. Hey, look at that. There's the road. Not great for the oncoming traffic, but at least we can actually see what we're looking at. And we're also going 68 miles an hour. Let's slow that down a bit. There we go. Alright. Look at that, we're already down to about 65 miles pretty soon coming up. And I think there could be something to be said for, you could take some long-haul drives while just driving rented trucks on the basis that you are driving for the same, driving for trucks in the same area. That way, you leave from the same point. You could take it anywhere, but you should be leaving from the same area roughly. Which we've expanded that a little bit by doing the whole state. But we got to see the entire map. Well, not the entire map. We got to see every city in the state, which is pretty cool. It's an interesting balance. Got to keep it interesting, but also trying to keep it realistic. Like if I ran from Portland all the way down to Sacramento, that's a legitimate run. If it was starting in Sacramento and going to Nevada, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Another question mark down there that would have been good to hit. See if we can see what it is. Might have been a dealership with some of those taller lights. Or possibly taking a truck or a load back to Oregon. Absolutely, yeah. As long as you're either starting or ending in that state, I think that's more reasonable. If I wanted to be super realistic about it, I would have started or ended in Portland every time to really have that represented as being my home city. Looks like we got about 4 likes. That's pretty. I mean, for a quiet night like this, that's really cool to see. I'd love to be able to get it moving to where we end up having 10 likes or 15 likes, just kind of a reasonable goal. Got a full-on wreck over there, it looks like. Just a little bit of rubbernecking there. Alright, here's our exit. About 18 miles out from our destination. And following a Tesla truck. I can set my navigation to back roads. Never really messed with my navigation settings. Or take a load or truck to a place and pick up from the same city. Yeah, that would be good. I think that's kind of what I'll be aiming for once we have our own truck, is picking up and continuing. I don't know if I'll... because you don't end up... I guess that could work. I'm not sure if drivers typically do that, where they drive for somebody else and then jump in, drive someone else's truck, because then you're leaving that person's truck. Whoops. I was not paying attention. That just added a whole bunch of time. So we are going to just try to back it up. Because I really don't want to drive another 60 miles unnecessarily. Yeah, I think we have some good goals in mind, though. Oh, trailer took off on me. Maybe if I loop around up. Nope. Change the gears and stop moving. There we go. Take this little side road. Dirt path here. Turn on our brights so we know what we're looking at. That leads off into this guy's field. Not ideal situation here, in case anyone's wondering. Open, I clear all poles. Okay, we're back on the road. Well, that saved us about 60 miles. Didn't really save us, but it avoided added time and distance. Oh, now we're up to 5 likes. Cool, thank you guys. Right. It's Cypress something. The company we're delivering for. Cascadian Farm Organic, so nothing to do with Cypress. I was trying to read it off the navigation map there. This farmer's... Probably, yeah, he thought for sure something was going wrong. It's alright, we got it corrected without damaging anything. So let's take a look from an aerial view. Looks like it's tucked away in the corner there. So I don't think it's through their parking lot there. It's going to be up this way, on the right side. Maybe backed up along the side of this house? Nope, there it is. Okay. I'm going to loop it around over here. Hey, how's it going? Come on. Yeah, it's a pretty industrial looking facility here when it comes to the lighting. Okay, come on. I must be getting tired because I'm not steering this correctly at all. Turn it this way. Okay. Although it's still pretty dark in the areas I need it to be lighter. Ooh. Did not see that trailer there. Okay. Oh, I'm sure he would have had a blast. Yeah. Telling me he could do it better type of thing. Straighten this out a little bit. What explains why it didn't bother me that I was going too far off to one side, because there's nothing over there. Okay, not the prettiest parking, but it gets the job done. Alright. Decouple this. And level 6. Yeah, I need to start doing some more runs with this stuff right there. Up to almost $65,000. So let's take a look at this just to see. I guess right now the only thing we have is a Kenworth dealership. Visit the dealership real quick. No intention of buying one right now. We're level 6, we're not level 10. I mean, that's not a bad looking day cab. Add in lease agreements for trucks. That's true, that could absolutely be done. Okay, so that doesn't show me what level requirement, because I guess you can just do it no matter what. Kenworth day cab. That's the Kenworth 900 day cab. I feel like I had that one at one point. Requires level 8. Here's a duty day cab. That's the T680. The first one with a sleeper, which that's a Kenworth, is the T680 roof sleeper. 140,000, requires level 13. Ouch. Oh, there we go. So I'm almost thinking maybe I wait until level 13 to buy a truck, because that's a nice looking truck. As is with that sleeper. That's a solid truck right there. I'm not sure there's a whole lot more you need. Not that we wouldn't change things up. Lease a truck with no customization options that has payments. Yeah, I think that seems like a perfectly reasonable option. Have the stock vehicles be available for lease, and then any customization requires a purchase truck. Level 13 to level 18, the only differences would be a different fuel tank and the color. That is the only difference. And granted, I love that color because that looks very similar to my car. But I wouldn't wait until level 18 to buy a truck. Any other differences? No, there really isn't. The stacks are a little different. Oh, and lighting. Okay, so small changes. I mean, this one has a modern look, but it's more of that rounded look. Can I look at the inside? Okay, there's a list of all of them there. And if I waited until I was level 13, 150,000 is not that far off. Okay. Can't look at the inside apparently, but okay, there's a little look of it. I think I would definitely want to wait for that one right there. I'm gonna have really good level by the time I get there. Just more things for early game, like the used truck market we spoke of. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because in the meantime, you're kind of stuck doing a lot of redundant stuff trying to get there, which might be intended to try to get you to borrow money and that kind of stuff. Hard to say. So that's 455 horsepower, that's 370, so there's a big bonus. And it's the same level 13 requirement. So even at level 10, the best I can do is that truck there. For this one. So I'm thinking that might be our new goal. Level 13. with that truck right there. 'Cause, I mean, when we leave this screen, that is the truck we have sitting there, basically. Alright, well, cool. That definitely gives us something to aim for. New screenshots available for upload. Oh, I did take one, but I didn't even mean to. Cool. Well, Holden, thank you so much for hanging out through the entire stream. I really appreciate that. I think looks like Israel may not be currently watching, but thank you also for being here. Jamie, thanks for jumping in as well earlier. It was great to have all of you here. Had a lot of good time with it. We ran for 2.5 hours. Wow. Okay. It's probably time for sleep. Biscuit Head, thank you for jumping in early on early on this stream as well. Hope you guys have a great week. It's going to be an interesting one, just more continuation of the existing issues we are facing, but we'll make it work, and hopefully we'll get another stream in real soon. If you guys are enjoying it, that really encourages me for doing it as well. I will see you guys next time, and have a good one.
Me